apathy and despair, they've reached an all-time high. You know, it doesn't take long with scrolling to see somebody who's like, the world is fucked. I'm so depressed. This is terrible. My life is meaningless. Capitalism is sucking everything out of me. And while I don't disregard the facts of your reality, I also need you to get outside and go interact with something that's not human. Trees, mushrooms, butterflies, shrubs, moss, anything. Get outside and start looking at what's growing around you. Start listening to the birds. Start paying attention to these creatures sharing the planet with us, because there's a few things. They're not freaking out. Even if we are actively heating up the planet, destroying their habitat, all that, the animals, insects, plants, fungi, all those other organisms, they're living their day-to-day life, being mindful in the moment, existing on the wavelength where they are. We humans, we're the ones who are losing our shit. And if you don't like the experience of losing your shit, which I personally don't, then you're going to need something to ground you. Because here's the thing. So I'm Rachel Strivelli. I'm a psychic, author of Talk to the Trees. I work with people one-on-one, psychic life coaching, either to develop your own intuitive and psychic ability or to reconnect you to the magic and the hope and your own potential to create your amazing life. These changes that human society is going through, they're not going to be over for a little while. You can look at other intuitives and psychics too and see what they're predicting. These changes, they're going to take some years to get worked out. Some of them, like the climate change issue and what we're doing with that, I hope we get it worked out soon, because we really don't want our environmental systems collapsing. But some of these other things, the way capitalism is working, systemic racism, technology versus whatever you want to call it, workers, all of these dynamics that are fighting and butting heads, none of them are going to get worked out in a day, in a week, maybe even in a month. So what are you going to do to sustain yourself in this time? Now, why am I the person to be giving you this advice? So I have had a really intense 4-year-old. He's still my 4-year-old. And I had to learn, how do I get through every day with a child who is impulsive, sometimes very hateful, sometimes very violent, and who is so young that we can't diagnose him with whatever's going on. We can't medicate him. Like, we just have to get through every day and make it as good as possible. And this process, the last 4 years for me, I've had to find what are the things every day that I use to stay a normal human, stay a kind mom, stay a nice wife, stay a good mother to both of my kids. And not just that, but also growing and not just living a life that's bare survival, because quite frankly, I can't do that. I'm not someone who can be like, this is good enough and I'm barely surviving and that's all I'm going to do. I have to have more happiness than that. You deserve to have more happiness than you have right now. You deserve to live at better than a barely survival rate. And whether that's barely surviving in any of the ways, you deserve to not have to feel despair, doom, and disappointment every single day. And as I said before, the world outside, the human world, is not going to change that quickly. Some of these things will change quickly, yes, but by and large, the systems and the structures, we're potentially looking at a couple years. Some things may be months, but some things years. And so in order to sustain years of change and unknown out there with all the human structures, governments, economics, all that, You have to find what is your peace, what is your groundedness, what is your place that you return to, your anchor that lets you be the happiest human that you can be. Because no one benefits when you're falling apart waiting for the world to get it together. And I don't think you have to be like, well, screw all of you. I'm just going to take care of myself. It's not exactly that, but you do need to care for yourself first. You do need to start to piece together what are the ways that you can have a better quality of life than you have right now. And I really encourage you as much as possible every day, if it's possible, which I think it is possible every day, getting outside, being around other creatures that aren't human, who aren't involved in all the drama. It will truly recalibrate you and realign you to a higher frequency, to more mindful living, to seeing the creativity, the empathy, the excitement, the resilience that is in the natural world. The natural world has so many gifts to offer you, both from a spiritual perspective, and scientific studies show this too. If you can't get outside all the time, pick up my book, Talk to the Trees. It's channeled words from the trees to give you that sense of peace and connectedness and inspiration that you get when you're engaging with the natural world. Engaging with the natural world on a daily basis will ground you and start to bring that peace, that centeredness to you. And then here's the other pro tip I'll give you, and then we'll wrap it up. What I find is when I spend time out in nature, I relax. My whole system relaxes, my emotions, my body, my mind, and new ideas, new solutions for how to handle my life in a positive, productive way come forth. That will happen to you too. If you start calibrating to the energy and frequency of the outdoors, you start calming your body, you start feeling more grounded, new ideas and possibilities will come to you. So not only will you have the benefit of feeling relaxed and happy and feeling good, and new things will start to come to you so that you can improve the overall quality of your life. Enjoy your time in nature today.